And then I need you to search for the Cognet website when you get to Google.
Okay. Is there anything specific I'm looking for here?
Which one of those do you think that I'm asking you to look at?
Probably EDU.
Okay, we'll click on that. Okay, so don't click on anything, but I'm going to ask you, you can scroll around on the page, and I want you to tell me what you think about this site. What strikes you about it? Whose site do you think this is? What do you do here? What's this site for?
It looks like it's a site where you can access publications, journals, obviously books, associated to, right now it looks like neuroscience, because it's all that neuroscience stuff up there.
Okay.
And it's associated with UTD, because I saw that right up on the top right.
Okay. You can scroll around, like I said. So what do you think this site is for? You mentioned journals, publications.
So it looks like it might be like a joint between this MIT Cognet Press, or MIT Press, and University of Texas at Dallas to provide publications and paperwork on a class, like psychology classes or something like that, so students can access journals and books through this MIT Press publications through this website for UTD.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. You're doing great. All right. Now I'm going to ask you to do some specific tasks.
Okay.
So first, I would like for you to find any books by someone named Michael Ty. You can't remember to talk out loud with what you're doing. Sorry.
Okay.
Just tell me what happened. What happened just now?
So when I did this, I searched, because that's how I typically do. If I'm on any website and there's a search bar up there, I typically, if I need something specific, instead of like trying to venture into the site, I usually just go directly to the search bar and type in what I need.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that here, and then because you specifically asked me for books, when I saw on the search, when the search popped up, it mentioned something about books, so I clicked on that first.
Mm-hmm.
That got me nowhere, so I backed out and then saw his name specifically. And so my thinking was that he might do more than books, because you specifically asked me for books.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I was skipping a step, but anyway, this is what I found.
Perfect. Yeah, and just remember, as you're doing it, just sort of say out loud what you're doing, but that was perfect.
Okay.
Okay, now I would like for you to find a book by someone named Bill Moggridge. Tell me out loud what you're thinking.
So I typed in the way I thought Moggridge was spelled, and obviously it's not pulling up something. I'm assuming I spelt the name wrong. So I will go back one. I just happened to see something in the books tab across there. I don't see any way to search that specifically, so let's go in there and type Bill, I guess, on the main search bar.
Mm-hmm. Mogridge. Oh, yeah. And what were you doing there?
So I just trying to narrow the search just by putting M up there because I obviously don't know how to spell Mogridge. I'm still not really getting anything for Mogridge.
Okay, I'm gonna free you because this was actually a trick to see if you could find anything by him. He's not in the system.
Okay.
Tell us what we needed to go,
right.
what we needed to know. Okay, so again, thinking out loud as you work, please find journal articles by a person named Simon Baron Cohen.
Verbalize your thoughts.
Yes, please tell us what you're doing. I'm sorry.
So same thing, just using the search bar when when you mention the person's name, I just again go to the main search bar or whatever the closest search for the page is, and type the name in. It came up books first is what I saw, and even without scrolling down, when I saw books from the bottom up, I just went ahead and typed in journals because I knew that would narrow it even more. And then obviously there's journals by Simon Baron Cohen.
But how do you feel about these search results that you found?
I mean, other than the one that wasn't there, I mean, everything else seems to be.
No, I'm talking specifically about this Simon Baron Cohen. How do you feel about these results? Because I asked you to find some journal articles.
Do
you feel like you found what you were looking for?
So not always. So when I just from what I generally see, just because somebody's name is mentioned in the descriptor portion of the link doesn't always necessarily mean that the link is associated with them. Like their name might have just been mentioned in an article versus them actually writing the article. So if you're specifically asking me if I've pulled up any articles yet by him, I don't really know that yet. So I wouldn't know that until I started clicking through on them.
Okay.
So I don't feel that I'm 100% where I think I need to be.
So you don't feel as confident in your search.
Right. I don't know if I'm there yet. Like I would honestly, if you were asking me specifically, I would want to click through and then to this and then keep going until it said something about him writing it.
So that you could be confident that you've
it's
found
an actual article.
So is that what you would do if you were by yourself and you were searching for him for an article? Like, you didn't have us asking you. You would want to check that result. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Just a few more questions. I need you to find journal articles by someone named Iden Landau. Landau.
Not Lando. Landau. So I'm sorry, I'm not talking. So I'm not confident again in spelling the person's name, and so I didn't really pull much up. I've got an Iden Segbe and then a Landau George.
Try maybe spelling Landau a different way.
Oh, how is that spelled? I don't know. Lando.
Sorry, I shouldn't have
We're
done
not
that.
supposed to laugh at people. We're
Terrible
not laughing
speller.
at you. We're not laughing at you. Yeah, no.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you the spelling. It's L
Hang
A.
on, I'm all over the place now.
Oh, okay. Oh, tell me what you did there.
So I thought I could go back from where I was searching by clicking on that, but that took me to MIT.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to work my way back. So then by clicking that and going through on that one, I kind of feel unconfident that anything I was searching was actually searching on this site. So I will try again with Iden. And if you want to give me the spelling of Landau, you can.
Landau.
That's a terrible spelling. There we go.
All right. So you found these journal articles.
So there again, I mean, if I wouldn't know they were journals right now, just because it doesn't say anything specifically about journal. I mean, I know it says publication and issue, so it kind of leads me to believe that these are some type of magazine or journal. But, and again, I wouldn't be 100% confident in it.
So what when you click on that content, what do you find out?
Yeah, that it is some type of journal or publication because of the way it lists an issue, and then I saw on back here that it did say journal underneath the search or the web name journal PDF.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So tell me what titles are available in the topic of neuroscience.
So I saw the topics button on the page, and since you asked me specifically about topics, but there, I mean, instead of going in my head, I just don't want to sit here and go through all of this stuff and figure out what is neuroscience or not. So I'm going to go back to the search bar, which seems to. So I typed in neuroscience, then clicked through on one that I thought looked like it was all encompassing of.
So you've got a bunch of results there, and I asked you what titles are available on the topic of neuroscience. So what is your feeling about that result? What do you think about what you got?
I don't know if these are topics of neuroscience because I don't know neuroscience. And generally, like if I search something on another website, any other website, there'll be kind of a breakdown of where I've gone in my searches or how I've drilled in on them. And so this doesn't list any of that. So I don't know if this is everything under the heading of neuroscience or where I am on it.
Okay, perfect. Almost done. So can you show me, and remember to tell me out loud too as you're going, how would you subscribe to this system?
I saw free trial was the first thing that I saw, and that's what I would generally do if I was testing something out. But if I knew I was going to do it, then I would go to the subscribe tab versus the free trial.
So you leaned first toward that free trial button.
Right. I would not click subscribe if I was unsure if I was going to do it.
Okay, that's good. All right, so then what have you done now Did you subscribe? So you said you were going to try the free trial. What happens when you click free trial? Remember, you're wanting to subscribe. Think out loud.
So if I know specifically that I want to subscribe, then I would just click the subscribe button. And
What do you do next?
so apparently I need to call. Or write. Or sorry, email, call, I guess,
In order to get the subscription.
to get more information on subscription.
Okay. All right. So 2 more questions. How would you, if you were a researcher and you found a link that was broken on this site, how would you give feedback about that? How would you tell somebody that there was something broken that you needed to get to on this site? What would you do?
So I don't see a contact us on here. So I would probably go to about first. And then I see there's contact us on the left side here. And then me, being that I don't like to talk on the telephone, is I would probably just send an email and list whatever issues I have.
Okay. All right. Okay. Final question. What do you think would make this site more interesting? Say you're a cognitive researcher. What would make this more interesting for you, this experience?
I think if I knew I was going to search the site quite a bit, which I think this site probably leans more to that because of the way the search bar is situated and just kind of how big it is on the screen, that I would make the how you're searching or what you're searching or where you're going in the search more noticeable on the page. I did notice after we started talking about it that there was some type of, so I had a keyword, so where you could kind of, I think that you could kind of start drilling in your search by keywords.
What would you do with those?
I don't know. So it's a little different. It looks like because neuroscience is highlighted, that's maybe where I am right now, and then I can add these things to it. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not. Or I don't know. It seems like a lot unless you know exactly where you're going.
Were you surprised that that dropped down like that?
Yeah, I thought the plus button would just add to it, not drop it down and give me a lot more. So there again, like I'm not even sure where that went because I even clicked on one of them, but I'm not sure what it's. This changed, but I don't know how it added or where it. Like so, generally I see it broken down, so it has like the larger group, then the smaller, and it kind of breaks down across the page as it goes. But that doesn't seem to be. That's
so
what I think
you feel like you're kind of lost. You're
Right.
not sure exactly where you are.
Exactly.
Okay. So you think that alone would make this site better? Anything else just about the overall site when you landed on the page? Was there anything else you noticed that you would change or that would make it better to use?
I know. I mean, I tend to like things that are a little bit shorter on as far as the page goes. That you don't scroll. You have to scroll a mile to get all the way down. I typically like to get everything condensed pretty short on the front, and then go where I need to go from there.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.